doing a Final Fantasy live stream. So I have a lot of stuff here to open up for you guys. So yeah, so I hope y'all are looking forward to it. And yeah, so I want to crack this stuff open up off camera, um, because I've seen that some packs are a little difficult to open. So yeah, and here's the dice. So there's a sparkly like blue one that you can get. So there's the set symbol. So that's really quite cool. While I crack open or get the packs kind of started, I want to set this here to discuss. And here's kind of the thing that wraps around the outer box. So there's that. But when I get the packs cracked open, or the ends snipped with the little tool that I have, I want to discuss the Shadowfax Voltron deck with the commander right there. So basically, I played this last night, and it didn't quite do too well. But that's also because I haven't opened up this set. And so it was kind of hard to judge what might be in the or WoW poll. So, but I was hoping to hopefully pull some stuff to help upgrade it. So yeah, so I'll get back to that. But I had the first pack opened, so let's see what I get. So this is the first pack for the first produce kit. So oh, that's a wow, that's a crazy pull there. That's a risk study. Hello everyone. Thank you all for joining. Yeah, that's a risk study. I do have sleeves next to me, so I will be putting that in a sleeve. Well, maybe. There we go. I had them face the wrong way, but there we go. So there's a risk study. Let's get on with the rest of the pack. There's our rare, which is also another one that I need for the bird deck. So yeah, the risk study is actually probably one of the more bigger hits of the set. So yeah, you'd be correct on that. So there's the rare, and then a sun card, which I have seen from a small amount of openings that the sign cards go for a decent amount of money. So hey, I appreciate you subscribing. So so let me get on and cut the rest of these, like snip the ends, and then I'll get to open up the rest of them for the previous kit. So alright, so there's one, there's two, there's three, there's four, and then here's kind of the last one. So out of the way. Alright, so let's get to cracking open the rest of the packs. And there's the promo for the previous kit, which is another one I need for the bird deck. So I'll finish pulling this open off camera. So let's get into more packs. I actually really like the art on this card. It's actually really quite pretty. So that's another alternate art to one of the cards. Gilgamesh. A foil chocobo card, or a bird, basically. So I'm going to set the promo up there, and then the bird stuff there. And the bird right there. Okay. So, next pack. And I do have a trash can next to me, so that's where the packs are going. But yeah, I'm hoping for some cool equipment to upgrade my Shadowfax Voltron deck. So that's actually really cool alternate art. So those will go right there. There's a rare, which turns into the vehicle. A foil. And a land, which actually look really quite nice, actually. And then another art card, which is of Kaminari. So, next pack. So, this is actually not a terrible one either for equipment decks, or artifacts basically. So, Ner Barts. Okay, well, at least I'll have two. So, Ner foil. And then a bird token with a wizard on the other side. So I'll just set the bird token, or the token with the art cards. Next pack. And there's a treasure on the one side of the token. So let's see. Elixir. Oh, the a town, which I'll have to read what this does, but I think it mills. Yeah, that's what it looks like it does. Oh, this is another pretty good card. Another equipment. So I'll grab a sleeve for that. There we go. And then a couple of foils. And then a hero and the treasure that you guys had seen. Alright, last pack for this previous kit. So then there's another bird on their side. This is also not a bad one either for a equipment. Yeah. I think this rare might see some play in Commander, I think. From what I was hearing, maybe. So that's not terrible. And then there's the other side of that. And then another town and a hero with the bird. So now what I want to do next is open up one of these precons. So yeah, so I'm gonna open up this one first. Well, I'm gonna do that off camera so when I'm not knocking anything over. But yeah, so because I have all 4 of the precons as well to open up for you guys, so let's go with this one first. So there's, I can never pronounce her name correctly, but yeah, there's the cat, wizard. There's Tia, and then a bunch of other cards in the precon. So this is Esper, so it's like a, I don't know the whole gist of what the deck is supposed to do, but looks actually kind of interesting though. I had to read after the live stream on what all these cards do. So because I plan on making a horse variant with each of the precons in a different way, so I had to read over what these do. And there's a rare that I had, or a couple rares that I had skipped. Yeah, so. There we go. I had to readjust myself a little bit. That used to be pretty good card. I don't know if it still is anymore, but that's not terrible. Sorry, the consoles, that's definitely an annoying one that people don't really care for too much, but pretty good though. You got a reprint in Foundations, so it's back in standard. This is the reason why I was kind of excited for this deck. Is this art for Murderous Rider is really quite cool. Like, that's just awesome. So I'll definitely be using that art for some of the decks that involve black. And then lands. And then I think, yeah, spells. Sorry about that. Time to readjust myself again. Because I'm not in the best of spots for doing this, but that's good. Some pretty good staples. Some awesome art too. I really like the art for all of these. And then some more lands. And then you also get tokens as well with these. So here's the swamps. And then I'll go through the tokens. So hero and a spirit. So you get a variety of different hero artworks from the look of things. A bird, hero, bird, wizard, I think that is. Yep. Hero and wizard. What is that? Oh, human soldier. Okay. Yeah. A couple Mughals. A how to play on your turn, and then on the back you get a zombie and a treasure. So that was basically it for the Esper Precon for Final Fantasy. Let's do the highest one because this is the other popular one that people were hyped about. And there were, for the 2-player decks, I did redeem one of the codes for myself. And then there was one that I gave away in the post tab to a viewer. So one of the viewers did get a code as well. So there's Titus and Yuna. There's Aron, Chocobo. This is one of the cards I'll set aside for later to explain to you guys on what that involves. But for some of you guys that may know what I'm talking about, yeah. So there's a unicorn. This art's really good too. There's Cabanari. There's Sin as a blue-green. Interesting. And then here's some reprints. That art's really good too. Alright, let me set those down. There we go. Yeah, this is another card that I'll set aside for explaining in just a little bit. Yep, and there's the main thing. So, yeah, there's a infinite loop with this deck where you basically give Walking Ballista infinite amount of counters off of Hardened Scales and off of these guys. And you basically just kill your opponent with Walking Ballista. Yeah. So, this is something that I won't use very often in the horse build. But, it'll be something that I'll use on occasion because I don't want to feel comfortable doing that every time to someone, but it is something that I will try to, like I said, do on occasion. So, but there's lands, which the art for the lands are actually really, really gorgeous. And then there's more spells. And then more lands. And then there should be tokens that should be coming up too. Yeah. Nope, that's more lands. Oh, that arc is actually pretty cool though. And thank you guys for still joining and kind of watching the stream. So, welcome new people and previous viewers. So I'll show the tokens here in just a second. Alright, so treasure and a clue and treasure, spirit and a squid, squid, another squid, and a squid, and then some punch outs for keeping track of things. So there's that one. Next, I want to get into the another previous kit. So I will do the same thing. I'll pull everything out, and then there's the spin down in case you guys hadn't seen the first one. So there's the set symbol right there. So and then for the promo, it's this one, which is also not a bad one either. I've heard some people talk about this in like Modern, I think. But also like Commander and stuff like that as well. So I'll do the same thing where I'll cut off the tops of these, and then I'll kind of like pre-open them. So there's one there. There's another one there. There's another one. There's another one. And last one. Alright, so let's see what's in these. Yep. Alright, so it looks like we have an art card. So another Moogle. There'll probably be some repeats. So this art's really quite cool too, for an alternate art. Fenrir. This is one of the ones I was really excited for. Just because I do like Fenrir. The art for it for Final Fantasy TCG was a lot better than the Magic version, but I still like both. So, but the card does, or the character is sad that didn't get a card in this set, or yeah, in this set was Kelger, which is a wolf warrior. So, but the Lunar Whale for our rare, our foil, a forest, and then what was this? Oh, Sin. Okay, yeah. So art card. Next pack. Rudis. Awesome. This makes the dog token that's in this set. A Nair Chocobo. Right, that works with towns, basically. So this is a flip card. So there's the other side. So it's a phoenix, basically. So, and then I really like this in foil. It's like that art is so good in foil. So, and then the hero with the copy on the other side, and then there's a land. Oh yeah, tugging those, sticking down with the art cards. That's right. Next pack. So there's a copy, and then let's see what is in the pack. I see a foil. That's a portless foil too. So there's the rare, which is interesting. Oh, Cloud. This is another expensive card as well. I was checking on prices today. The risk study that you guys see down here, that's like about roughly 100, and then this in full is like roughly about like 80-ish. So yeah. And then a hero, and I showed you guys the copy on their side. So, but yeah, definitely some awesome pulls. And then the Buster Sword is roughly about 20-ish, maybe 25, something like that. So it's like there's an art card on their side. A Choco Moogle. Another one of those. Another town. So there's our rare, which I think flips. Oh. Wow, that's a another card that I need. The A tier and Pyron. Yeah, let me see that up as well. This card's also insane. Yeah. That card's like wild. Iron Giant for foil, and then here's the art card. Looks like it's Machinist, Arsenal, something like that. So I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but yeah. So here's the token, which Darkstar, which works with the Rufus. Renona, or yeah, forgive my pronunciations. The Emperor. Oh, this is another really good equipment too. It's not a terrible one, so I'll set that up there. It's not quite as crazy as the other two, but it's still not a bad one. So there's the foil, and then the token that Renata makes. So along with the Darkstar. So and then there's the land. We'll actually set this aside too, because that's actually kind of interesting pull there for both the dogs to be on the same token. So, and then for the final pack for the second produce kit. So, this is the one I won't mind pulling is Kefka. There's Beno, which I think, yeah, is the top half of the Ragnarok. Oh, and then this is another really good one too. The Masune. So that's really good too. So set that there. Arden, rare foil. A rare. Oh, oops, wrong pile. There we go. A foil swamp, and then another signed art card. That's actually pretty good too. Which one's this one? Edgar. Okay. Alright, so let's get into the last two precons. Next one I'll go with is Cloud, which I'm sure a lot of people are waiting for, so. And then there's still the collector sample packs I have to open as well. So, which I will go through those after the last precon. So there's Cloud and there's Tifa, which that art is just amazing. I need to make some room. There we go. So there's Sid, which there is a uncommon Sid in this set where you can have as many copies as you want of the card. So Avalanche, Cat. There's an Ox, which is pretty cool. Ultimate Magic Meteor, Vincent, Yuffie, which is their pretty fan favorite character. There's Eris, which is their fan favorite. Barrett, Red, Sephiroth. And then here's some equipment, which I will probably have to read afterwards. I think they're reprints, but some of them may be new ones. I think that both these are new, so I'll have to read them afterwards. And then here's the reprints. Chaos Warp, which is pretty good. Hellkite Tyrant, which is also not a bad one. Decimate. Champion Town, which I think is... yeah, that's the one that gives hexproof. Okay. More equipment. Dark Steel Plates. Sort of Amist, which that art is amazing. And then here's some lands. These are the 2-card lands, which there's usually some in every deck for the precons. And then some non-basic lands. More 2-card lands. Oh, I forgot that he was actually in here as well. Barrett. Oh yeah, this is the I think you get one either the packs or the one at random, I think. So of those. Cultivate, Harmonize, more ramp, basically. Cautious Hammer, that's not a terrible one. Hero's Blade, Lightning Greaves, that's a classic. Skull Clamp, and then more lands. And then the basic lands. And then here's the tokens. So Soldier, Rebel, kind of same thing. I think that's kind of the gist of this deck, is that there's a bunch of soldiers and rebels that it makes. Yeah, and then Foretell, Treasure, and a Foretell. So that's kind of basically it for that one. And then for the final precon is the Terra one, which is Mardu colors. So alright. So Terra and Celeste. Coin of Fates. Cyan. A Bill Vehicle. And their dog. Rejoin the fight. Siegfried. So there's now a chocobo on it. Edgar. Oh, Kefka. So there is one in the precon, but it's not the one from the main set. The one from the main set is actually pretty crazy, but I think this one's still pretty okay as well. So Lock, Mog, Moogle. I think there's gonna be quite a few people that will probably make a deck around him. Sizer, the Warring Tirade, Sun Titan, bunch of reprints, Reanimate, which is a really good reprint. Ruinous Ultimatum, which is also pretty crazy as well. And then Key to the City, Zone, Shrek. Yeah. I cannot pronounce cards today, apparently. But, and then here's some of the lands, the 2-card lands. And don't forget, I do plan on making horse builds with some of these precons. So that's also something to look forward to as well. With after this live stream is done, it will take me a while to perfect that, but I do plan on making a few horse builds with the precon commanders. So again, that's something to look forward to. Mindstone, Soul Ring. That Soul Ring is actually pretty cool. So the artwork in this set is just amazing. I was like, I really just love it. That's just awesome artwork for Rolling Wilds. Path of Ancestry. That's actually pretty cool artwork too. And then lands. And then tokens. So you get 2, and then the Monarch. You get 2 of the Monarch. Copy, and a Moogle. Copy and Moogle. Yeah, you're going to get a bunch of Moogles in this deck, which makes sense. Yeah. So, there's that. And then, the one thing I was wanting to show off is you get deck boxes, the two-player decks, and the precons. So, you get decks or deck boxes for those. Next, I want to move on to the bundle. So this also comes in the bundle, but mine got smashed. So there's Lightning and Sephiroth. So, yeah. And then I'm going to do the same thing where I'll open it, trim off the ends, and then show you guys what the holes are like inside. So here's the spin down for the bundle, which has a Moogle face on it, which is actually pretty cool. So there's that. And then there's the stuff for the divider, so lightning and Sephiroth. So there's that. And then there's the promo pack and the land pack, which I will show you guys what the at least the promo is. The land pack should be pretty straightforward, because it's pretty much exactly the same as the pack that's the promo pack one. So there's the promo. I think you get two. And I think they can be randomized, because I saw a video where someone got something different than what I just did. So that's pretty cool. And then I'll show you the lands, which were in pretty much the precons, but I'll show you the foils. So they look actually really, really quite good in foil. And then one wasteland. So yeah. And then I'll do the same thing where I'll trim off the ends and we'll see what's inside. So there's one, there's two. So the reason why I'm doing this, I've got to show you guys what the sample pack. I'll show that here in just a second, because I'll cut those the ends on those as well, because I saw someone trying to open one of those last night. Was really struggling to actually do that. So I'll do that as well, and I'll show you guys what's in those. So almost done with the play packs, and then I'll do the sample packs, and then there's like 5 more play, and then 1 collector booster, which I did pick up for you guys last night at my LGS. And then so that'll be showing off too in this video, or in this live stream. And then so here's this is for the sample pack. So there's the advertisement, and then so Professor and Aerith, which Aerith is actually not a bad one to get as a extended art. So there's soldier military program, and a foil feral youth, which is pretty cool. Next one. So Sephiroth in the extender, which is actually really quite cool. And then Strago and Realm, which is also pretty cool. But Sephiroth is actually pretty nice hit as well. And then for the final one, for the sample pack, so Celeste and this guy. So pretty cool there. But now let's get into the more play packs from the bundle. So I've heard this is actually pretty rare to get. Probably because of like playability, I think I've heard. So, and foil, and then their art card, which is of Cloud. Yep. So, next play pack. So, this is a rare, which is essentially a board wipe, and then you end the turn. So, that's not terrible. It's interesting, but it's not terrible. And then hero and a knight. Next pack. Noctis as Kenrith. I may have to use this because this art is really, really awesome. So that's definitely a epic pull there. So that may be a art that I use for the commander for the horse deck. So, and then another Phoenix. Yep. And then a town mount, and then I feel like I recognize who this is, but I can't think of the name. It's Dancer. Whoops. Chakrams. So maybe something new that I haven't heard of before, but I feel like that the person in the art, I feel like I recognize them, but like I said, I could be wrong. So. Oh, no, Genji glove. That's actually not bad either. At least I'll have a dupe for another build if I decide to include it in something else. So a hero and a treasure. Next pack. I think after I get done with the bundle, I'll show you the 2-player decks. So that'll be up next. So Shiva, which is actually not bad. Saga creature. Chocobo. And then this is the rare, which actually looks pretty cool. And then a foil, our land, and then I think this is, am I thinking of the right? Nope, Gomez. Okay. I was thinking Gilgamesh, but I was like, I didn't think that was right, and I wasn't correct on that, so I'm glad I didn't guess that. So, next pack. Looks like we have their alternate art in here. Endbringer, which is Brainstorm. That's pretty cool. Oh yeah, I think I heard a lot of people wanting to make a deck around him with the new Ugin from Turkey. So that may be a pretty interesting hit too. And then this is a flip into Black Chocobo. Another one I need for the bird deck, which I haven't really been setting stuff aside, but that's good. So a land, and then a hero, and a frog, which there is a card that makes the frog, which I'll try to point out if I pull one. So next book. So the red or a red thing that makes birds. I said there's no alternate art in here. Choco and Moogle. Oh, Dark Ritual. That's a crazy art for Dark Ritual. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, this makes the frogs. Yeah. So this is the dude that you're looking for frog making, which I know there's a decent amount of people that like the frog deck. So Moogle, which is a Nara legendary. Celeste, or no, Cecile, that's right. Which turns into a white form, or a white version, so, which is actually pretty cool, actually. A foil, and then another stamped of, who's this? Estein, or Estinin, one of their, but that art card's really cool. I like that artwork. And again, with a lot of stamps or signatures on the Final Fantasy art cards, like some of those are pretty expensive. From what I've seen, is like some of them I think range from like 10 to 20 bucks, something like that. So yeah, so a lot of those are actually worth keeping if you're a collector. Tifa. So one of my friends was playing this last night for a dual commander deck. It was actually in the deck itself, and he swung at someone for 65 damage, I think is what I had heard. So that's insane. So, and it has trample. So yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is the art card that I had pulled a little earlier in this live stream. So, and then our foil, and hero, and a Moogle. That's pretty cool. That'll come in handy if I decide to do something with Moogle at some point in the future. So, and last pack for the bundle. So, oh, Kane. This is another one that I really like too as a character. Primal Odin. This card's terrifying. Mainly because of the second effect on that he has. So whenever he deals damage, that player pretty much loses the game. Yeah. That card's terrifying. So a bird and a hero. So that's basically it for the bundle. And then I'll get into the 2-player decks. So I'll start off with Cloud first. So there's Cloud, Moogle. So with these, they're more meant for like newer players and kind of like standard format. So yeah, to a degree. Standard is kind of a stretch with some of these starter kits, but yeah. So 4 of those, 2 of those, 2 of those. This card's actually really quite interesting too for equipment deck, and it's also legendary. So I would probably imagine that there'll probably be a few decks that'll probably be built around him with equipments. So Dragoon's Lance, Tia. This card's insane. If it, yeah, it's the one I'm thinking it is. So at the beginning of combat, put a +1 person counter on target. Or no, this isn't the one. It's yeah, that's the one. But yeah, this is the one I was thinking. At the beginning of combat of your turn, you may attach any number of equipments you control to target creature you control. Yeah, that's gonna make equipment decks just insane. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to putting this in my Voltron deck and hopefully be able to use the heck out of it. So and be able to benefit from it for quite a bit. So and then there's a few more rares in here. Because I was watching videos over this, and there's actually quite a few more rares in here than previous story kits, which is actually pretty cool. And Barrett's actually really crazy too. So it deals damage to equal to the number of equipments to defending player. Yeah, and that's when he attacks. So that can get out of hand really quick too. And lightning. This one's actually pretty not bad. So. And then there's the alt lands. And then there's a few tokens at the end. Hero. And a hero. And that's essentially it. Yeah. So that's it for that deck. And then now for the other one that people really like is Sephiroth. It's not as crazy. This one's not as crazy as the mono black one that's in the main set, but this one's still not bad either. So. Yeah, this is the Ultimata that you want. Use it, taps all creatures your opponent controls, and then, or a creature you control deals damage, you draw a card. So, the thing that I thought about with this is that, there's a blue horse that has been out, but, you can essentially exile this with the blue horse, and then where you attack with the horse, you basically make a copy of this, and then where it enters, then you tap all the creatures. So there are other cards that do it for cheaper than her, but it's just kind of another fun, kind of unique combo that you can do with the horse deck. So Sephiroth. This card's actually not bad either. It's 4, which is a little bit, but it's not terrible. So. And then this is the card that makes me terrified for Crested Summoner. Because it deals 9999 to the toughness. So, the thing that I'm going to try to focus on for some of the force builds is not having Crested Summoner in there, but more like Guardian Summoner, because it has protection. So that's what I'm trying to focus on with the horse deck. Now since I know that this card exists, so. And then here's a few more rares, and then lands. So treasure and a robot warrior. More parts of the turn, and then I think, yeah, copy for the other side. So there's the Sephiroth deck for the start kit. And then last but not least, there's the 5 play packs and the collector pack. So I'm sure everyone's been waiting to see what's in the collector pack, so I'll do that first. So here's the collector pack. So there's a foil Darkstar, which actually looks pretty cool. And then Bahamut, which again I was checking on prices today, and this card's actually pretty expensive in foil. So because I was looking up the foils and kind of what's expensive, so and this card's actually insane too. Mega Flare is bonkers. The rest of the stuff, or the rest of the effect, is actually still pretty good as well. But yeah, the Mega Flare is like crazy. So that might have to work its way into a deck. I may have to try to pick up a non-foil, but yeah. So there's Gomez as a alternate art. And then Blitzball Stadium, Excalibur 2, a Town, a Saga Knight for the in their rare, and then Swamp, Fenrir as the border switch. Actually, looks pretty good. So, and then the rest of the foils. Moogle actually looks pretty cool as a foil as well. So, but yeah. So there's the clutch pack, and then now for the remaining 5 packs for the stream. So let's see what I get. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. I don't know what the alternate is, but it's a human cleric, which kind of fits the artwork, so that's pretty cool. Rydia. That's actually really pretty art too. Another one of the these dudes. That's pretty cool. So at least I'll have 2. One to use as a commander and one to put in something else. So, and then there's Tia. Yep. From the Precon. So, so next pack. Rufus. Cypher. That's pretty cool. A foil hero and a treasure. So 2 packs left after this one, and the stream will be done. So I appreciate everyone watching the stream. It's definitely been a blast opening up all this. So so yeah, thank y'all for watching the stream. There's 2 packs after this, but yeah, thank you all for watching. So now Brainstorm, which actually looks really, really quite cool. I love the art for this too. And there's Steiner. That's pretty cool. There's our rare. Dragoon foil, that actually looks pretty cool. Town, and then a bird and a wizard. Alright, last 2 packs. Alright. This card actually is pretty good too. So there's the crystal, or one of them. Not the rare burdens, but at least the crystal name. So, and then Sarah, which works with legendaries, which will probably go into my horsemanship deck. And then legendary creature control will get +2/+2. So that, yeah, that'll probably work its way into my horsemanship deck. And then a stamped version of, yeah, it's dying. So, alright, last pack for the stream. Alright. Looks like there's another alternate art in here. Yep. So, corpse of flowers, I think, is the alternate art for that. That seems actually pretty good. Actually, I don't have to read that further, but that seems pretty good there. So, look, and there's our rare, which is a town. Oh, another rare. Okay. Another whale, and a couple foils, and a signed Kefka to finish off, which is actually pretty cool. Which one is this one? Court Mage. I think that's the one in the main set. So, but yeah. So that's basically it for the live stream. Thank you all for watching and joining and everything. So thank you all for watching, and I will catch y'all in a future video with plenty of updates and stuff for Final Fantasy. So yeah. So I'll catch y'all later. Thank you guys.